you a simple message from the winning of the Jaguars today. And for some of you, you're going to really get it. For some of you, you're going to be too busy hating on who won to really receive what God has for you. But I came to tell you today that sometimes the underdog can win. You're going to catch that? People counted you out. They gave up their season tickets. Come on, somebody. They didn't want to watch you anymore because all you did was lose, lose, lose. But sometimes, come on. Sometimes the underdog can win. Anybody want to tell me how many championships the Steelers have? You Steelers fan? 6. How many do the Jaguars have? Sometimes the underdog, the people that we count out, you can win. I'm gonna leave that where it's at. That wasn't the message, but God just said I had to spread that on to some of y'all, because some of us, people have counted us out. They said our season was over, Bobby. We had lost too many times. We had got out of the will of God too many times. But God says, it's never too late. It's never too late. And so on today, I want to speak into your life. It's never too late to win. It's never too late to win. Open up your Bibles if you would. And go with me to Luke chapter 10, beginning at verse 38. Amen, amen. When I get it early, you'll get it. Amen. Let me see how she did that thing. Oh, amen, amen. Amen. Now, we don't bring your Bible, but you better make sure that what's up there is what the Word of God says. Amen. One day I'm going to put up there, and God said, give every penny you got in your pocket today. Include your credit card. I'm going to see if y'all paying attention. That was in the book of Pastor Val. I need Jesus. Christopher, come play Jesus for me, if you will. Just sit in that seat if you don't mind. And young lady right there, you have on pants. Would you mind coming up and being, all you got to do is sit down. Come on. Be Mary for us. Amen. Just sit at the feet of Jesus and enjoy the story. Let's see. Tori, come up. Be Martha for me.
I had a feeling.
That's why he was looking away from me. Just sit in my seat so I'm ready for you. I want to take you to the story of Mary and Martha. One of my favorite stories for a couple of different reasons. But it so reminds me of our walk with Christ. And at times it certainly reminds me of my walk with Christ. And so if I had to title the message today, there's three titles really I could use. Martha or Mary, who are you? Distracted by the preparations. But I chose distracted, dissatisfied, and disturbed. There you go. Luke chapter 10, beginning at verse 38. You are seeing the NIV version. As Jesus and his disciples were on their way, he came to a village where a woman named Martha opened her home to him. She had a sister called Mary who sat at the Lord's feet listening to what he said. But Martha, come on up, Martha, and pretend to cook, sweep, dust, whatever. Just be busy. Martha was distracted by all of the preparations that had to be made. She came to him and asked, Lord, don't you care that my sister has left me to do the work by myself? Tell her to help me. Martha, Martha, the Lord answered, you are worried and upset about many things, but few are needed. Or indeed only one. Mary has chosen what is better, and it will not be taken away from her.
My God.
The Message says it like this. As they continued their travel, Jesus entered in a village. A woman by the name of Martha welcomed him and made him feel quite at home. She had a sister named Mary who sat before the Master, hanging on every word he said. But Martha was pulled away by all she had to do in the kitchen. Later she stepped in, interrupting them. Master, don't you care that my sister has abandoned the kitchen to me? Tell her to lend me a hand. The Master said, Martha, dear Martha, you're fussing far too much and getting yourself worked up over nothing. Only one thing is essential, and Mary has chosen it. It's the main course, and it won't be taken from her. Here's Martha. Poor Martha. Martha's in the kitchen doing all the work. She's just slaving. She's sweating. Sweat, Martha, sweat. She's getting everything prepared. She's tired, man. She's tired. And look at this old Mary. Mary just sitting down, chilling, listening to Jesus talk while Martha is busy working. And she's working hard. And Mary is sitting at Jesus' feet. And she's listening. She's not only listening, but she's hanging on to his every word. Mary or Martha? If I had to sum up the story, I would say that Martha welcomed Jesus. Because remember, Martha, the one that's doing the cleaning, is the one who invited Jesus into her home. But Mary wowed Jesus. Welcome can be defined as to greet someone gladly or friendly. Wowing can be defined as to impress or excite. Martha welcomed Jesus, but Mary wowed Jesus. This story reminds us that we have to get our priorities in order. And sometimes we're so distracted by preparing that we miss the message. Okay, Martha, you're good. We'll give you a reprieve.
That one spot is super clean.
Our first choice must be to spend time at Jesus' feet daily. Time spent at Jesus' feet is never a waste of time. But Martha, you guys can go back to your seat. Thank you, Jesus. And Mary.
All right.
How much time are you spending daily? Cleaning instead of listening. You ever had a dinner party? Man, you spend all day getting everything ready. Everything has to be perfect. You get everything ready, get everything set up, and the next thing you know, you're going to bed because you're tired as heck. You missed the party! Let me talk to myself. You missed the party, Pastor! You were so busy making sure everything was perfect, everything was cooked, you get to work, get back home, gotta get the kids fed, gotta do this, gotta do that. And in a day's time, we never really spend time at Jesus' feet listening. And then we keep asking Jesus what it is he wants us to do. Where do I go from here? What is it that you need me to do? I ain't talking to nobody. I'm just looking at you so Sway doesn't think I'm talking to her. What is it you need me to do? God, I need the answer.
Come on.
But we ain't even listening. We ain't even took time out of our day to listen because everything else that we got to get done is our priority. And then we're wondering why we don't hear from Jesus. The thing about Martha is she was so worried about what Mary was doing that I bet she didn't even finish cooking. Y'all know any people like that? They're so worried about what this person doing in the church, what ministry this person got, what this person, that they can't get nowhere because they're too focused on what you got going on to get their blessing.
Come on.
I know y'all don't know no people like that. I know we don't know no people like that. But I came to tell you that God has to be our first choice. Everything else can wait. Our jobs, I ain't telling y'all to quit, I'm telling you to be late. What I'm really saying is get up early. Amen. See, there's a solution to everything. You can come back and say, I got a solution for it.
Yes.
Your job can wait, your kids can wait, your laundry can wait, your home projects can wait, your appointment can wait, even your church responsibilities can wait. So that you can spend time at Jesus' feet. And when we do that, I believe that you're going to see that all of these questions that you have will start to clearly be answered. The thing is, we put the most time into what we value. And so some of us do so much ministry that we do no ministry. We do so much of this and so much of that. We're so busy ministering to people. We're so busy feeding people. And we ain't got nothing inside. Because we want to be able to say, well, I saved this person and I ministered to this person today and I reached out to this person and I helped this person. And the truth is, you're helping them on residue. Because you're missing the main course. You ain't really got no core. You just done learned a scripture or two. And you done parted it into them. And you think you hot stuff. That's why some of you can minister to people and can't minister to yourself. Because it's just memorization. We're not really getting at God's feet and listening and absorbing what He's saying. We just come in on a Sunday morning, get us a good little scripture, get us a good little word, and then we impart that in them, but there's no substance behind it. It's kind of like you're providing them with the appetizer. And after they get the appetizer, they're still hungry. Anybody other than me just can get full just on the appetizer? And that's just because I got a small belly, so that's a medical condition. it ain't real. So unless you've had surgery, typically the appetizer is just that. It's the beginning.
Amen. It is not a holy thing.
Some of you are getting the appetizer and you're walking away from the table. Kind of like coming on Sunday and then we don't see you on Thursday because that's the main meal.
Amen.
That's where we provide the T-bone steak.
Come on.
Just the way you like it.
Amen.
We got it rare, medium, well done, overcooked. That's how my wife likes her eggs, nasty. But to each his own. However you like your steak, it's how we want to give it to you. But some of you got the salad and the soup.
Come on.
And you're gone. And then you're wondering why 2 days later you're hungry again. Because you didn't stay for the main meal.
My God.
And the main meal is at Jesus' feet. It ain't even here on Sunday morning.
Come on.
It ain't even here on Thursday. It's at home every day when you get up and you say, you know what? Today I'm going to spend 10 minutes seeking God, seeking to listen to Him. I want to challenge you this week to get in a room, and I know some of y'all have families or whatever, but certainly there's a bathroom in each one of your houses. If you have kids.
Yes, God.
There's certainly a bathroom, and I want you to get in the bathroom.
Yes, God.
If that's the only quiet place,
Yes, God.
if you're like me and there are no kids, you got an office or a room or a living room. And I want you to spend 10 minutes just in silence. I don't want you to say anything. I just want you to listen. I want you to listen. I want you to take every burden that you have and just get rid of it. Get in a space like we do when we start Bible study. Get in a space where you're soothed and you're releasing all of the negative energy that you've experienced that day or that night. And just spend time in silence for 10 minutes. And then I want you to tell me if you were able to do it. Because some of us doesn't like silence. Right? We've always got to have noise. Those of you that sleep with the TV have no idea how you do that. But I need silence. And when I don't have silence in my house, like when we have guests sometimes, I don't really sleep well. Because the noise is in my conscience of, it's like something's going on. And my brain thinks there's something going on. I need to see what's going on because it's my house and you know what's going on. Right? But my body's like, no, you need to go to sleep. You need to rest. So there's a battle between the two of them. But your answer is in the silence. Why? Because then it's just you and God. See, when other people are around, they can influence what we think God is saying to us.
Come on, God. Let us straight.
Y'all ain't never had something you was thinking about, you wondering about, and people around you are saying, giving their 2 cents, and that's what people do. That's what we do. And then when you got alone, by accident or on purpose from God, when you got alone, everything seems so clear. Because other people's opinions cloud our judgment. And so we want to make the decision that we think will best please them, rather than the decision that will best please God. Service is a good thing, but sitting at Jesus' feet is better. What are you saying, Pastor? I'm not saying that you shouldn't serve in the body of Christ, because you should. But if you're serving more than you're listening at His feet, you got it backwards. And so what you're doing is you're serving to cover up the fact that you ain't sitting and getting none of the main course. That's why we only allow you to be in one ministry. Because we want you to be good at one thing, rather than just be a part of a bunch of things. Listen, I can name tons of ministries where they got 50,000 ministries going on. Right? Let's be realistic. They got 10 ministries going on, and not one of them shines in the city. They're not recognized by one of them. They got everything going on, but nothing is actually doing something. Does that make sense? So I got all of these pots. I got money in all of these pots. So rather than have 10 pots, I'd rather have 2 that are making a difference. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Doing ministry is not like investing in the stock market. It's not like I want a little bit of money here so it'll grow. I want a little bit of money here so this will grow. I want a little bit of money here so it can grow. When you do ministry, you got to focus on that one thing and not be distracted by it. It's just like if you're playing soccer and you're thinking about football plays, you're not going to be playing soccer.
Come on.
Martha is distracted by Mary doing nothing.
Come on.
Any of you ever been a Martha? I'm doing all this in the church. I'm doing all this at home. I can break it down to your home life. I'm doing this for the kids, and I'm doing that for the kids, and he's doing nothing. Jesus. He's doing nothing. Because you're trying to get the glory. Not realizing that Mary may need to be at Jesus' feet in that moment. Distracted. Disturbed. Martha was pissed, to be frank. And she wasn't afraid to let Jesus know she was pissed. Jesus, what's up with this? You just don't let Mary sit here and do nothing while I'm in here busting my butt? Right? She was real with Jesus. Somebody asked me if you can ask Jesus why. I said, you can ask him anything you want, because if it's in your spirit, he already know it. So you might as well go ahead and ask at that point, right?
Right.
So I don't think there's a problem with Martha saying to Jesus, what's up with this? How you just gonna let Mary sit here? I'm trying to break it down to y'all language, you know. How you gonna let Mary sit here and do nothing while I'm doing this and this and I'm giving this and I'm giving that? And you just let, and he says, because Mary's doing the one thing that's important in this moment. What are you saying, Pastor? I'm saying that there's moments you need to be Martha and there's moments you need to be Mary. And what we need to pray for is the ability to discern which we need to be in that moment. Sometimes God don't need you to serve. Sometimes he needs you to sit.
Amen.
We don't like to sit because sitting means we can't be seen. But then we say we serve a God that can see all. But we ain't good with God seeing us. We need people to see us. Jesus says to Martha, look, I understand you're upset. And the thing is, he's calling Martha out not because Mary probably should help Martha, but because she's worried and upset about the wrong thing. How many times do we let the wrong things upset us? Like if we could be Martha, if we spent the time Martha spent stopping what she was doing and going to talk to Jesus about Mary, she could have probably been done with her cleaning and moving on to the next level. But we get so focused on this other person not doing nothing. Because Mary ain't worried about Martha. Your Mary ain't worried about you.
Come on. Hey, that's a word.
Your Mary is getting what she needs in that moment, and she is content and hanging on every single word Jesus is saying. But you over here stressed. Worried about what Mary doing. Some of y'all better catch that. Some of y'all worried about some Marys in your life instead of worrying about how you can get at the foot of Jesus and hear exactly what he has to say. See, Marys are distractions in our life. And because they're at the feet of Jesus, we're really just jealous. Because we want to be Marys. But some of us are so used to serving and doing that we don't know how to just stop.
You ain't never about no clue.
Ever been to somebody's house and if you're like me, you used to host them, so you start taking out your trash when it gets full. You taking out your trash when it gets full. They're like, leave that alone. That's those of us that are used to serving.
Yeah. Start fixing.
But God said to me this week, sometimes you gotta sit, Pastor. Sometimes you gotta sit and let people serve you. Sometimes we gotta sit at the foot of Jesus and just listen. Stop trying to sweep. Stop trying to fix everybody. Stop trying to help everybody. You know, sometimes when you're helping people, you really hinder them. People always wonder why I don't just jump up to help. I have to pray about something before I just put my resources into something. Because I have to ask God, is this what you would have me to do? Or is this a place that you need this person to be at so that they can get what it is that you need them to get? Sometimes we all want to be Supermans. So we just, somebody has a need and there you go. Caution you to pray about that before you help people. I ain't saying be stingy, that's not my point. My point is that sometimes our help is a hindrance to the lesson that they need to get. Maybe the lesson is they need to stop smoking, so you don't give them money for cigarettes. Maybe they need to stop drinking, so you don't give them money to get a Bud Light. Whatever. When somebody asks me, can I have this or can you help me with this? I immediately pray. And I ask God. And so sometimes, if some of you have done that, I'll say, can I get back, give me a date and I'll get back with you. Sometimes it might be because I don't have the resources and I need to find them, or it's because I need to pray. Sometimes God immediately says, this is what you need to do, and I just do it. Sometimes God says, you need to pray about it. Hey, I'm trying to do this in their life, and they need to get this message, so back off. And for a pastor, that's hard. It's very hard not to just help. Because that's what we want to do. Right? We want to help. We want to be better. We want to give more. Jesus is calling us to be Martha Mary. Not Mary, not Martha, but Martha Mary. But if we have a choice, we get in a situation to where we have to choose between preparing the table for the guest or sitting at the feet of Jesus. Which will you choose? And if you choose to be Martha, will you do it contently, not worrying about Mary? And if you are Mary, are you willing to hang on every word that Jesus is speaking into your life and not be distracted by all the noise that Martha's making? See, because Martha's a distraction as well. Because Mary's trying to listen to Jesus. Y'all better catch that. Amen. But Martha pissed. She ain't cleaning softly. She making all that. You ain't never had your spouse tell you to do something like wash the dishes. And you like, oh, okay. I'm gonna wash the dishes in the morning while you sleep. When you come, I'm washing dishes. That's what Martha's doing. She ain't going down without fighting. She ain't quietly in here doing all the work. She want to distract you from hearing what Jesus is saying. So if you are married, how many Marthas are in your life? I ain't saying call them out. How many Marthas are in your life causing you distraction, trying to be a distraction? Don't be distracted by Martha or Mary. Be Martha Mary. Be a little bit of both of them. Know when it's time to serve and know when it's time to sit. Rise to your feet if you would, people. Rise.